Hi guys, welcome to 3 Printed. In this video tutorial, you are going to learn how to create realistic looking 3D models for your augmented reality projects or for games or for metaverse, who knows. So as you can see, this is a king cake which is traditional from Portugal. Here they call it bolgai or something like that. Sorry, I can't pronounce it correctly. So this is a 3D model which I did, the plate at the bottom. The other one is a 3D scan which I did with my bloody phone, which is like 4-year-old. So the quality is great, specular is great. I haven't applied any specific shader on this, but in a moment you're going to see how I did it, on what techniques I used. It's very simple. Please follow the tutorial. So now you can see a cake half eaten on the screen. So I will first explain this image is very complicated because it has lot of specular in the metal surface on the utensils like the plate. That is not going to work very well. You need to have a surface which is not very glossy, like not too many reflection where the light will bounce and create the specular or glossiness or reflection. You just need a surface which is very rough. That will give you the best results, and I will show you in a moment. So I already 3D scanned this. The program which I'm using is called Meshroom. This program is free and you can download it from GitHub. So if you want, I can post it in the description of this video. So you have to import all the images. Just drag and drop the images in this area where you can which you can see on the left side of the screen, and it gives you, and if you start, it gives you a 3D model, and these small icons are the images which I took. So it's showing you the point cloud which was generated by the projections of these images. Output of the 3D model can vary depending on what kind of texture results you want. You want it to be very detailed or not, so but I will go into details later on. Once you import all the images, you can actually see the details of the images, the specification and everything from here. These are some of the bars, but I don't usually use them. So once you're done importing all the images, you are going to see these yellow icons, okay, these small icons on the right side, which will tell you if image you took was focused or not. As you can see in the metadata on the screen, I used my Poco phone to click these images. It's a phone almost 4 years old and it's working very well for me. So I clicked the images, but I made sure that I'm clicking by locking the focus on the phone and not moving too much closer to the subject or further away from the subject. So after everything was done like this, and I made a folder called Meshroom and saved a file like king cake because it's a Portuguese cake. It's called bolgai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, so if you are Portuguese, please pardon me. So the texture folder is the one which you need. It's going to show you the final output and the texture. And I chose the texture of 16,000 by 16,000. The size is 113 MB, which is too big. So once the texturing is done, your model will be exported as by default OBJ file. If you are using Windows 10 or 11, it has default program to view the 3D models. As you can see, I wanted this cake to be scanned, okay, and don't mind because it's not going to come out properly, because you can see the surface is that grayish area, light gray, but it's upside down, okay. So don't worry, we are going to fix that in Blender. And but look at the plate and the fork, because they are glossy, so they didn't came out nicely. So I will just import this and try to clean it. I will delete this poor cube and I will import this 3D model into Blender. Select wavefront OBJ, textured mesh OBJ. It's up to you if you want to split by object or split by group. I don't usually split it, so just import file. It will take a while So now you can see the model is here and also the extra stuff which we don't need. So I will close camera and the default light. I will show you the textures first. So it was processing because it's a very high resolution texture, and you can see how beautiful the cake is looking. It was delicious. I still have some pieces with me which I'm going to eat today. After doing this, you can see there are some floaters, the objects which you don't need. I will go to the polygon for face selection. Then click on the object or on the screen and separate by loose parts. After you do that, it's going to do its thing, and you can see there are so many separate parts. We don't need them, of course. Deselect everything. You can see there are a lot of small parts. Select the model which you want. Press Ctrl I, select all the useless parts, which then we are going to just delete them. And you can see the vertices on the bottom of the screen, how they will reduce the faces, tries and everything, and the objects. 1677 objects are going to get deleted. So delete, and you can see it's 492 vertices, 908, almost 900,085, almost million faces, million tries, objects 1. So press F to zoom on the object, set to origin to geometry or geometry to origin. I will do geometry to origin. Now I will press on the X or Y, whatever you want. I will press X, and now I will press E to rotate it from the outer circle. Now I will press Y, click on the Y axis and try to align it a little better by using the shift key pressed. It's going to move slow, and you have to press it afterwards when you select the white circle. Now as you can see, Z axis is the top view. Now we will go there, and I want this cake to be like this. Okay, so we can start to clean it up. We can even modify this, and I will keep a little bit of the white mesh because I want to merge it into a plate. So you can see the chocolates which I gave in my office to my colleagues. So I will keep this plate along with this, and for doing that I will just go to the object mode again if I was not. So for the selection I'm going with this lasso mode. Go to edit mode, sorry, not object. Okay, go to the grayscale mode. It will be much easier to do the selection, and then, or you can, because first I will quickly delete the object, so I will just do this and delete faces after right clicking on the screen. See the problem, you still have the faces left. So to solve that issue, just come here on the top side of the bar, or you can press X to toggle this on. Now select again. After deselecting, you can select more from here by pressing shift and select, and again from here. If you press spacebar with the shift, you can actually move your selection, and I will align it here, select it perfectly. I will do this again, shift and select, and now I'm going to press delete faces. So after deleting the faces, I will go back to the object mode, and I will say again, set the origin, geometry to origin again. Okay, what's happening? Nothing happened. Why? Origin to geometry. No. So I don't know what happened. Anyways, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm not perfect, but I'm bringing the 3D scanning tutorial to you. So I will check it out, what's the problem, and how we can add fork, knife and a plate here with some towel below. This was the towel, but Now we can switch on the scene lights and say the cake is looking delicious. You can click here to switch off the grid and the axis say, and I will reduce the mesh in the next video, because here see the mesh is too tight, it's too detailed. We don't need that much mesh. It's almost 670,000 faces. We don't need that much mesh. So I will just switch back to the normal view, go to the close the grid and enjoy the details. Almonds are visible. Of course, no one is going to zoom it this much. If you are going to make it, put it in a game model, it's going to be a prop in the background. And I will show you by adding another light here. If you will go to add, go to the light, go to area light, most likely that's what I want to add. And after going to the area light, just select, go to the light, the area light, move the area light. Okay, something happened. So move the area light. What's happening to the area light? So once you move the area light, you can see it's improving the overall quality of the 3D model. Like, I will put it close to it and switch off the view again, and see the detail of the cake. It's looking mind-blowing, and all the details are visible. We can add more lights, of course, if you want, and I will just add a point light, and I will move it. So it's up to you what kind of lighting you want, how you want to light up your 3D model for a presentation. But I will quickly 3D model a plate here just to show you. Take a normal cylinder, and I didn't intended this to become a 3D modeling tutorial, so just okay. So press F and go to the 3D view, come here, click on the wire. You can see the wires of the model, and press edit. Now go to insert faces. You can do on the single one or on the both one. I would prefer both of them. And of course this plate is looking very thick, which I might have to fix. So press 2 to switch to, or you can so press both of them, or you can select the vertices, shift and select the vertices, press R, scale them, and you have a basic plate. Of course you can add more edges here. I will go to the okay, yes, only the upper edges are selected. So if you go press shift and this, you can actually don't worry, I don't know where I was lost. So select the loop tool, add a bloody edge, move it down a little bit, and you can see we might have to move this much more downward, and don't mind for the background voices, my neighbor is funny. So it's Christmas, everyone was drunk last night. So once the plate is made, you can select edge mode, and you can select the object mode. Bring the plate closer to the cake, press Z axis, switch off the wire mode, and you try to align it manually, that would be much better. Try to see the center point of the surface, and when you are going to scale, click on the white outdoor thing and scale it. So you can see by switching to the texture mode that forks and knife are still popping out. So I will just go here. Now I will close this plate and I will delete the plate. So now this lasso, select lasso tool, select your object, go to edit mode, switch on the Z mode, and start to select. Now again, make sure this is switched on, and you just need to select your cake and press shift to select a little bit more of the cake. So switch to the X view, switch selection tool, press, oh no, happens. The system is crying. Press Control and select. Control and select again. So we are almost, let me see. Zoom close to see the details. Now this is not working out. We will undo that. Undo again. Undo again. Undo again. Okay, so we might have to select in this manner because it was selecting the back side area which we don't want to delete. This will work fine. Just bunch of more time. Because we are not going to use this, so doing that, and after you are done doing this, just press Ctrl I and it will let you select the area which you don't want, and it basically invert, and now you can select little bit more area which you want to delete. You can use the lasso tool for more precise selection. So I will quickly press shift and select the area which I want to delete, and now I will delete. After doing that, just press delete faces, that's all, and make your new plate visible, and God is blessing you with a direct reflected sunlight. So here is your cake. We can move the plate a little bit up or move the cake a little bit down, but okay, so it is looking good, but it went down a little too much, which I don't want. this much. So once you are done doing that, go back to the object mode. If you are not, close that, and here is your leftover cake served in a plate. Now we will try to take a quick render. I don't know, go to the animation area, go to the local selection, select your camera, make your camera a little closer, and press render image. So camera is not in the center, so you can see we can move the camera a little down, and don't worry about the plate. We can also add a new material if you want, make it little more specular and not metallic, of course. We can select a base color little gray instead of white and check out in the okay, it's looking pretty good. And now press enter. We have a bloody king cake ready to be eaten. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. And if you have any questions, just make sure to post it in the comment section. I will soon try to start a Discord service so we can talk about these tutorials on that. And very warm welcome to 3 Printed. And don't mind for this plate, it's not detailed, I know. It was just for the tutorial. I hope you learned something, and just feel free to ask the questions. Okay, see you in the other videos.